Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Souls. Due to some... Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Souls. Unfortunately, due to some recording issues I've been having with the programs I'm using, I haven't been able to do an episode in a little bit. Hopefully this one will go pretty smoothly. Because of that, though, rather unfortunately, you guys missed out on a boss battle for the Abyss Watchers, which is a shame because it's a really cool boss battle, and I might make just a retrospective like gameplay video and talk about the boss battle because it's a cool one, and I like it a lot, and there's a lot of good stuff that they do in the boss battle that I really appreciate. So now we are diving into the Cathedral of the Deep. Because the last video also didn't record with any sort of quality, unfortunately, I've already made a little bit of progress in this area. Instead of going back over that progress, which doesn't really make sense, we're just going to keep on moving forward, because frame rates. Because I want to keep moving forward with this video series, and yeah. So in our last video that unfortunately you will never see, we were able to open up a shortcut, and as we go through this level, you're going to see one of the really cool things, and one of my very favorite things about the way this level is organized is essentially all of the shortcuts are based around funneling you back to a single location, which is that bonfire, the Cleansing Chapel bonfire. And I think that's a really cool tactic. It makes for a nice fluid progression, and it also makes the I feel like it makes the location of the area seem a lot bigger, which I think is cool. I'm gonna sneak up on this motherfucker. Oh, what? That... Ow! Yeah, I bet you think you're really funny. Bam. Also in the last video we fought a giant, which was pretty cool, and where you didn't miss out on too much for that, except for the reveal of giants actually being in Dark Souls, which... Oh shit, what the... fucking get off of me, stupid slime blob. This area, it's really helpful to carry a torch around in, simply because of the maggot monsters outside and all the blobby things inside that drop down and try and kill you. The blobs, though, have high physical resistance, so being able to hit them with the torch doing fire damage is kind of a big thing. Yeah, got some exploding bolts, that's kind of cool. Ow. Who's that? Oh shit, what up? Nice. Alright. Interesting. It just says something right here. Oh. We're gonna keep on going down, I think. Oh, hello. Haha. And we get the Deep Braille Divine Tome, which we could normally give to Irina. We're not going to. There are a couple of tomes that sort of drive her crazy, and if you give it to her, and then buy the spells from that tome, then it triggers her what is essentially the bad ending for her NPC quest line. We don't want to do that because we want to retain her as a miracle person. So what we will do is we'll give that spell book to a different NPC a little bit later. Before I go down there, though, I want to loop back around and go across the walkway up here. We're going to notice, of course, our friends, the thralls, are fucking hanging out on the walls and the ceiling. We're going to go up here really quick. There we go. One of the things I like about the evangelists, even though they're like shitty, terrifying enemies, ow, crap, ow, no, don't trap me in a corner, is you can always hear when they're around because their stabs make that big, heavy, sort of metal sound when they clank on the ground. It's a nice little cue to their presence, I think. And that just loops us back around up here to where the crossbow guy was. So actually I think we can probably just safely fall. And then come back around to the walkway. I always like going across this upper area first, simply because if you don't, when you're walking around down there, the thralls will trigger. You can see like one right there. And they'll fall down and try and surprise you, as opposed to taking them out right here, which I find to be a little bit easier. And of course there's this item over here. Oh snap, but it's being guarded by a dude. I see you, dude. And we get the Seek Guidance miracle, which is not, I've never put it to amazing use. Essentially what it does for you is it makes developer specific messages appear in the world. So like if you're having a hard time progressing or something, it triggers those to appear. Like I said, I've never actually used the miracle before, so I don't know how particularly helpful it is, but it is a thing. These guys are a little bit of a mixed bag as far as difficulty goes. Sometimes their AI is really smart about how they use their shields, and sometimes it's just really stupid, and they turn really slowly. So we didn't have too much trouble with him. He can be a tricky fight, though. And then try luring it out and then trapping inside. So I think he comes down from up here. This is a nice little sneaky area, so... Oh, nope, there he is. I always try to see if I can catch him falling down. Not often able to. That is a... I think they're called Aldrich beats. We can stick him in the doorway and cheese him from here. That's an easy enough way to kill him. Otherwise, they're not like terribly difficult, but they are really aggressive, and they're really hard hitting. You run into them a couple of more times a little bit later on in the game. So I mean, like, I probably could have taken him on in melee, but it's just a lot safer and easier to do it that way. Actually, before we progress, let's take a quick peek at the rings I picked up, because I picked up a couple extra ones. So, we have, let's see, we have the Lloyd's Sword Ring, which is an interesting item. Gives you extra attack when your HP is full. I've never really been able to make this work particularly well in PvE. I know it has a big use in PvP, where you're essentially, I mean, the whole game is based around trying to take as little damage as possible, but yeah. And then Aldrich's Sapphire recovers FP from critical attacks. Another one I've never really been able to use effectively. I can definitely see, like, if you were a character that was based around, say, like if you got really good at parrying, and your character kind of, oh shit, Longfinger Kirk, there's that boy. If you had a character based around parrying and ripostes, and then doing the majority of your damage through critical hits, then I could see it being a thing. Longfinger Kirk's not a particularly difficult NPC. He can be a little bit tricky. His armor makes it so that his rolls do a small amount of damage to you when he's rolling. Like that. It's not a significant amount, but it's enough that, like, if he happens to catch you, it's definitely possible to, like, kill you at a low health amount. Looks like we're not having too much trouble with him. And he's dead. And from him you get the barbed straight sword and the spiked shield, and then a little bit later we will pick up his armor set a little bit deeper into the Cathedral. Get down from there. You gotta, fucking, goddamn it. Gotta be careful of those statues on the side, because their poison buildup enacts really quickly. So you just want to make sure that you stay out of their range, unlike me, as much as possible. This goopy stuff will slow you down, but it does not actually poison you, which is nice. So it's basically just like sludge from the keep or the swamp area. annoying to walk through, but not particularly dangerous unless you happen to draw aggro from one of the enemies over there. And then we get into one of the more odd, in my opinion, odd parts of the game. It's cool. It's a completely optional little, I don't know what to call it, patio area. I mean, obviously this, when the church wasn't broken, this would have gone somewhere. But there is nowhere to actually go from here, just outside of the two items existing here, like nothing. There's nothing else. So we get the Saint Bident and a couple of homeward bones. Now, the Saint Bident isn't going to be particularly for us. It's definitely, if I was going for, like, say, a quality build, and I wanted to do, like, a quality faith build, I could go for that. Although its scaling is such that I feel like you wouldn't get very much damage out of it anyway. So at the baseline of 98, and only receiving an E scaling from both strength and dex, and only a D scaling from faith, I feel like you're really not getting much out of that weapon, even when it's upgraded. I'm sure the scalings upgrade at least once. Most of the weapons work that way, so you'd end up with a D scaling in strength and dexterity, and then a C scaling in faith by the time it's probably about, my guess would be halfway upgraded. That seems to be the way most of the weapons work. Which is not terrible, but still, it's not amazing. Got these guys real quick. We're gonna have to deal with another one of these motherfuckers. Hopefully he'll be just as easy as the first one. Sometimes you can trick him into getting poisoned, which is a pretty great strategy. These guys, since they move so slowly, it's not too hard, but definitely the way to go is to fish for backstabs. Or since they're since their attack patterns are pretty heavily telegraphed, just sort of baiting him into those big sweeping attacks where there's a large recovery period, and then like chipping off a little bit by a little bit off of his health. Okay, so first off over there, oh shit, we have our second giant encounter for this game. He's going to be a little bit harder just because of the area he's in is all sludge. So you really have to keep an eye on your stamina and make sure you're not overextending yourself in that manner. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to loop around and unlock another shortcut. And I'll probably call the video there. That's a nice solid ending spot. You'll notice that this area goes back down to the base level where we could access that part. Actually, you know what? I'll explore the rafters a little bit because that'll also open up another bonfire and another covenant to us. But yeah, so this obviously loops back around to that first area we were in with the cleansing chapel. I do want to go in here really quick, and that'll give us access to the rafters area, which is where the Covenant area for Rosaria is, who is another PvP Covenant. But oddly enough, her abilities are also tied to being able to respec and change the appearance of your character, which I think was a pretty poor move on their part. It really makes that... I'm just going to come around the corner here and then up the ladder. Really makes that whole aspect of the game a lot more exclusive. I think by default, over the course of the game, you run into 1 or 2 pale tongues. Just naturally, and you can farm them off of deep ring. You can farm them off of dark wraiths, which is fine. And remember, we talked about. Oh wait, nope, that video didn't record. Never mind. There is a pretty easy area to farm pale tongues in this swamp area. However, if you didn't happen to know that, and you thought that you could only respec by doing PvP and getting the pale tongues, like, I don't know, it just seems like a bad decision on their part. I wish they had done something a little bit more along the lines of Dark Souls 2 and just had it, ow. Oh shit, that was a bad idea. And just had it as an ability that, what? You should have fallen off. That an NPC did. Damn it, fucker, god, instead of being Covenant specific. Because having the ability to respec is big, and it's important, especially for like newer players, or actually even seasoned players, because it gives you more wiggle room with your build, and it gives you the ability to tweak and optimize things as you need to, which is not like a necessary feature of Dark Souls, but it does help it so that you don't like dead end your builds, which is not only frustrating but kind of a reasonably easy thing to do if you don't really know what you're doing. Nevertheless, it is the way that respecking works in this game, so fortunately nothing we can do about it. But there is a bonfire right in her room once we get there, so that's nice at least. So I'll have to remember that these guys actually have a lot less poise than the other guys for some reason. It seems like just less defense in general. Okay, so that's up in the rafters. That's that guy taken care of, so we'll have a little bit of an easier time with him. I guess they don't have more defense, just more poise. They don't get staggered as easy. Smack. Okay, so that's that guy taken care of. Over there is the rafters. There are a couple of spots I want to hit really quick here. to grab a couple of items. Whoa! Poor guy. I hear you. Sneaky little man. I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so there's the other pale tongue. We'll actually want to hold on to that because there may be a chance that I might want to respec my character at some point. I don't know, I might drop the whole faith angle and just focus on strength build. I don't really want to do that, but it might be what I end up doing, just because as much as the extra miracles are useful, I'm kind of getting to the point where I feel like they're not really that helpful. We did pick up a better crossbow, though, so we'll definitely throw that on, which is unfortunately 3 points heavier, so we're going to have to juggle our equipment around again. Man. Yeah, that looks stupid. Ugh. Why is every hat so heavy? There, that I guess doesn't look too bad. It's kind of cool, I guess. Alright, this area sucks. It's definitely far and away one of my least favorite zones. Very reminiscent of oh god, the rafter area in Anne Orlando in the first game. And you can trick a large majority of enemies into falling off, which is nice, or pushing them off. Actually, this would be a place where force I could see being incredibly useful. If you could get it to go off properly. We get the Blessed Gem, which gives you... it adds faith scaling onto your weapon, but not in the form of lightning damage, rather in the form of increasing your physical damage. And then also adds an ability that slowly recovers health, I believe, which is kind of cool. If I remember correctly, it's not at such a rate that it really becomes super useful, but see, so let's see if we can trick this guy into falling off. And that's the area down there where Rosaria's bedchamber is. Oh, wow. Yep. Perfect. Well, that guy has a crossbow. What a dick. He's going to keep shooting at us, isn't he? That's kind of lame. Either we're going to end up leading him off the rafters, or he's just going to chase us back to an area where we can actually fight him. Both things are advantageous for us. And... oh. He gave up. Come on, dude. Don't give up. What? Why is your tracking so much better than... why is your pathing so much better than every other Sanctum Knight? That's some bullshit. Come on. Fall off. You know you want to. Did you do it? Yep. Oh, poor guy. Oh, well. So the area that we're trying to get to is this platform right here. And the only way to do that is just to fall right down on it. Over here you see you can roll down into the swamp area again if you want. That's not what we want to do. We want to roll off on this side. And then we meet these creepy, weird, like, slug dudes. These are man grubs. Who's have some strange lore implications and connections to Rosaria and how her covenant works. But there are a lot of them in this zone. And they're interesting in a lot of ways because while these ones are obviously aggressive, right, they're going to try and kill us. That one at the far back of the wall isn't aggressive. He's completely passive. But he does drop a PvP item for us. Which again is not something that's super cool for our character. Obviously you would want to do it for another character. And they're just kind of spoopy. Like weird skeleton slug things. Huzzah! And he gives us the red soapstone. So, throw open the doors. And ta-da! We are in Rosaria's bedchamber. You can pick up Kirk's equipment here. And then a little bit later, if you do certain series of events, you can pick up a second set of hay seals. equipment. She's pretty weird, and she definitely likes man grubs. So with her, you can ask to join the Covenant, which of course you want to do. And she gives you the Covenant medal. She allows you to, at the cost of 1 pale tongue, reallocate your attributes or change the way you look. So that's her deal. And of course, as a Covenant leader, the more you offer pale tongues to her, the more you rank up in your Covenant, to a maximum, I believe, of 30. I think 30 is the highest thing that you receive rewards for. Again, it's not going to be super important for us, and I'm not good at PvP, so I don't really see the point of even bothering with it. But that will be a little shortcut for us, actually, when we're running around in the Cathedral. Okay, so I think do I have enough to afford the tower key now? I do. I'm going to go ahead and grab the tower key, even though that's a majority of our souls, unfortunately. And I'm going to sell off these extra soul packets, which doesn't get us all the way back up to where we were, but a reasonably comparable amount.
Welcome home. Very well.
So, what do we want? What do we want? I still feel like endurance would be a good investment for us. Although our health isn't that hot either. Vigor wouldn't be too bad. Strength is a solid investment just because of the A scaling, but I'm not really having trouble doing damage, so I'm not particularly worried about that. I think I'm gonna do stamina. Just keep pumping that up, because more stamina is always going to be more useful, and I think that hard caps at like 25 or 27, so we're coming up on it pretty close, actually.
What neat.
Let's see, we can't reinforce any of our weapons. We don't have any Titanite. We could infuse the Great Machete, or Machete. I don't know why I always say that. But I don't think it's worth it. You get a significant drop in attack power for not very much return as far as scaling goes. We could heavy gem it, which actually, if I was planning on using this as a main weapon, that's probably what I would do. Because we definitely will be dropping points into strength, no doubt about it, so that would pump up its ability to do damage pretty significantly. Okay, so that's the end of that episode. Hopefully when we come back, we'll be able to make it up to the Deacons of the Deek and smash our way through that boss battle, which is also a pretty cool boss battle that I enjoyed quite a bit. So thanks for coming out, and we'll see you on the next episode.